allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excellent. Okay. So, Deb Cole and Mike Druin are not here tonight.
Yeah.
So we still have a quorum, and we're going to move along with our business. So on the first of our agenda is August action items. I saw only 2, and both of them were under Deb. And from her note to us, she said that she completed them.
Yep.
So one was to contact Ann Warner, my notes, about the strategic plan, and then I don't remember what the other one was. Something else. Oh, and then meet with the staff about the SMP.
Right.
Well, it looks like we're not the only one who got the memo.
Look who's here.
This looks like some committee.
Look who's here.
Hi, Karen, how are you?
I'm good now.
Official meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, it's our trustees business meeting.
Enjoy. We're in executive, can I leave this open?
Sohini?
Yes, so, yeah, I think she sent a draft of
Yep.
So,
She did a SWOT. She just met with the staff and did a SWOT with them. And those were the 2 action items from August, and she did them.
okay.
And then we have the SMP, which we were going to talk about for next meeting to set up whatever our next, the next action with respect to SMP. Copier is on hold, and Deb said that she was going to make an appointment with Yvette to start the strategic plan.
And you are going to
Right.
help her. Yeah.
They were going to meet, set up a plan, and then I was going to come later. So that's all old business. New business, we have policies. And the first policy, which policy do you want to start with?
Oh, whichever one you want.
Okay, so I had the tutoring and the meeting room. Let's do the meeting room, because that one's, like, it's not new. I didn't have any issue when I reread the meeting room policies, or policy, I didn't have any issue.
No, neither did I.
Sohini?
No, I don't think so. It's
Yeah, it was very,
Yeah.
I was fine with both policies.
So here it says youth groups must have an adult sponsor or at least one adult in attendance. That's fine. Is there anything for like the children? Like if anybody wants to have any other children?
It's under children's policy already.
Okay.
You can be in the library alone if you're 11 or older.
No, if they're having like a program for like under 12, which is not within the library scope, like which is not usually what the library offers. Like, you know, library has the children's programs, but if some organization like wants to use the library area for under 12, will that has to be written, or it comes under youth groups?
That would be youth groups.
That will be youth
So the
groups.
Girl Scouts come to visit.
Okay.
That's a youth group. They have to have an adult sponsor. Oh, no.
No, it isn't. Thank you. Thank you to Colin. Yeah, the youth groups, I think that's self-explanatory.
Okay.
Do you not think
Okay,
it's
yeah.
self-explanatory?
Youth groups, kind of youth is which age you will say, so like
Under adults, so
underage
to me,
adult.
it's
yeah,
under 18.
18?
Under 18, yeah. Okay.
So,
Okay.
I mean, here, in terms of the process,
Mm-hmm.
when someone fills out an application to use the meeting room, we will follow up with them to say, okay, I see it's the Girl Scouts, how old are these girls, how many adults do you have? You know, so this is just the policy,
Okay.
so they know they have to have an adult present.
Mm-hmm. That's okay.
any other questions?
No.
Karen?
No, I thought it was thorough, and reading it made me realize things that had happened in the past that are now part of the policy. So it was, yeah, I thought it was good.
And is there like any hour limit, like 1 hour, 2 hours? No, it's,
No, but again, that's a case-by-case basis, and it's part of our procedures to find out how long someone is gonna book a meeting room. So, you know, we've had people who want it for an hour or 2 hours or half a day. I mean, it's all different.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I make a motion to accept the meeting room policy as is.
I'll second.
All those in favor? So, 300. So our next policy is tutoring.
As I was reading the different parts of the tutoring policy, I could see where certain issues had come up, and now they've been addressed, so I thought that was good.
I had two questions. One, under number 5, tutors shall work with a maximum of 2 students.
After that, it becomes a classroom.
Yeah,
Okay.
says the former teacher. Now, I looked at several other libraries, not in New Hampshire, but several other libraries that had tutoring policies, so this is very much built on that. Kind of thinking, you know, how does it work at other libraries, and this seems to be successful.
Okay. I wasn't sure why the number of students made a difference. If it was a noise issue, I can understand that, but then
Yeah.
it falls back into the patron conduct. But I didn't understand why there had to be a limit.
I think it
That's
does become a class after 2. I mean.
Yeah, especially as a tutor, you're really supposed to be offering individualized attention, and so you can't be paying attention to more than 2 students in an individualized way, and either not have them attending to what they're supposed to be doing, or not being close enough with the others so that they are concentrating on what they're supposed to be doing. It just, especially depending on the students and how much they want to be there, it can get pretty difficult.
Okay, and then the only other comment I had about that is the leaving 15 minutes early at the
At the end of the day.
at the end.
Mhm.
It's like, if the library's open, I just think they should be able to stay till it closes.
we have a 15-minute announcement before closing that says gather your things.
Right.
And so they should start gathering their
Sure.
things. The thing is, they're not. So the staff was very excited about that particular part of the policy. You know, if it's a tutor with a student, that means there's a parent that also needs to come pick up. And if they arrive at 8:30 when we close, then the staff are, either we're gonna say, we have to have you step outside to wait for your mother. It hasn't been successful when we don't have that written down. So, you know, lesson has to be over. You know, because it's, otherwise you're saying, okay, I'm gonna finish just this last thing until 8:30 on the dot, and then I'm gonna walk out. But we have a closing announcement that's 1:15, and then at the time that we're closed, the library is now closed. Please make your way to the exit. So, I would like to keep it there. I mean, if it's a disaster and we find it's really not working for people, then we can always revisit this and change it. But, you know, we're asking, you know, programs, really, we're trying to get people to leave meeting rooms on time early. You know, we're trying to get programs to end early, not to the time when the library has shut the door. You know,
I guess that's where my conflict is.
Computers turn off 5 minutes before we close. There's a lot of that. We ask for a little bit of lead time, so you turn off your thing, get your stuff. That's gonna take 5 minutes to get out the door. So.
Okay.
Move we accept the new tutoring policy as written.
Okay. I'll second. All those in favor? 3-0-0.
Okay, so what this is telling me is that I am not online. Are you, is it a town hall?
Yep, it's
Yeah.
MTH guest. Merrimack Town Hall.
MTH guest, okay. I'll twiddle with that. Okay.
Okay, and we're moving on to the August general ledger and manifest.
Yep.
I didn't have an issue with either.
No.
And thank you for sending.
Yeah, I went and looked at it again and opened up the original and then just said save as, and there are two choices. So it went to that one, so I made it go to the PDF one. No problem.
I appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All set. All set? Open POs? Comments, questions?
So, we're in like the second or third month of the fiscal year.
Yep.
And we have a bunch of 100%, the percent of the budget that is left or is
Yeah,
left?
it'll go to 0 if it's used.
Okay. So a lot of them haven't been touched. But
Well,
the,
you know, overtime.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah, I'm sure.
Incentive pay, no. Water and sewer, that's just the beginning, that's a town invoice and it's, we receive it from the finance department.
Yeah.
General insurance, also that's probably not. Dues, those are step dues for, you know, organizations like NHLA or ALA, And the ALA one I just got, and it's because it's usually a October renewal, so I'll be submitting that. Oh, geez, I'm sorry.
Okay.
All the things, and the dues one, the renewals for NHLA and NELA are January. So those come later.
Okay.
And it's kind of, you know, those are the bulk of them. Mine just came for ALA, like I just said. So you'll see that probably next month. And then the ones on the bottom, you know, Capital Reserve, Trust Fund, these are all.
Yes. Yeah, those,
No.
those don't happen usually early in the year.
No.
Okay,
Nope.
that's all, just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. No questions there. Anything with POs? Open POs? I was good with that one. Sohini?
No.
Okay. Moving along. Treasurer's report, not treasurer's report, director's report.
Ooh, okay.
It's all you.
Let's see. So we received a donation of a book. It's a self-published book called Worry Stars by Melinda Rolls. She completed this as her Girl Scout Gold Award. So the Gold Award is given to scouts who develop a project with lasting impact on a community. The Gold Award is the highest award that a Girl Scout can achieve. It would be equivalent to a Eagle Scout project. It's a big project. This was dropped off at the library with a note, and I gave it to Kathy. She said, this is probably the best presented picture book
Oh, wow.
that I've seen.
Yep.
You know, in terms of a self-published picture book. It's well put together. It looks like a real picture book that's not self-published.
Wow.
You know, it's very dynamic, it's got good illustrations, and the content is great. So she would like to add this to the collection.
That's great.
Yeah.
Good for her. Good for Melinda Rolls.
Yeah.
Well done.
So would you like to vote to accept this?
Yes. I'd like to make a motion to accept Worry Stars by Melinda Rolls.
I second.
All those in favor?
3.
Done.
Okay.
Passes.
Okay. I received a letter of resignation from Benjamin Stinson. Ben has worked as a part-time youth services aide since 2018, and he's accepted a full-time position at the Aaron Cutler Memorial Library in Litchfield. Ben's last day will be September 25.
Okay.
Okay.
I move that we accept the resignation from Benjamin Stinson
With regrets?
with regrets.
Yes. I second. All those in favor? 3-0-0.
Okay, and I'll get that PAR to Deb.
Yep.
I've also received a letter of resignation from Sarah Moore. Sarah has worked as a part-time circulation aide since February 2021. She's returning to school, and her last day will be November 22nd. She wanted to make sure we had enough time with the schedule, because she knew her date that she was leaving. And, it's a little earlier than normally we would need.
Yeah.
I would need to give this to you guys, but.
Nice. Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept Sarah Moore's resignation with regrets.
I'll second.
All those in favor? Excellent.
3-0-0.
Correct.
Okay. So I'm gonna jump down to the reopening plan. I had submitted in the packet, a page of how Jared could convert the manga closet to, a snack bar or just a place to have some refreshments. And I can explain a little more in context about our thought process for this. So we're trying to reopen the library and resume services that we'd offered before the library and everything else shut down for COVID-19. And one of the things that we used to offer, if you'll remember, was bottled water in a refrigerator.
Yep.
And coffee pods or tea pods or the like with a Keurig machine. And these were kind of self-served items. And if you remember, we had moved the circulation desk to the middle of the room where reference now is to open up the tile floor.
Yep.
And we had bought cafe tables and chairs and kind of created this little cafe area. So this is kind of going back to, cafe services in the library. And when we started to walk around the library to see where can we move the refrigerator from behind circulation to somewhere where it can be accessible by patrons, we really don't have a lot of floor space. Usually you think, oh, let's tuck this against a wall. There's not a lot of walls because we have bookcases on them. And so then it's kind of like, okay, you start wandering around and thinking of the space in a different way. And Kathy said, I was actually thinking of changing the manga closet and pulling these books out and doing something else with this space. Maybe we can combine these two ideas so it could be tucked away in a space that's not in the middle of a walking path or taking up, wall space where we really have that's where bookcases are kind of pushed against. And so, the department heads and I, we kind of went out on the floor and looked at things, and they started to bounce a lot of ideas off of each other. And, I don't think we're going to move the circulation desk back to where it was because the reference desk is now there. And, I think the service desks are really going to stay there, but then we still have this, desire or charge or, service plan to continue to offer a cafe idea, and then I would say, I don't think, as far as I know, I don't think we've moved away from that. It's still, a cafe is still in the floor plans for any new library or renovation that we've looked at. So it's really just the question of, where do we put the fridge? Where do we put the fridge? And people are starting to come back into the library as groups. Someone asked for a bottle of water, and it was kind of like, where is it? So this kind of all tumbled out in kind of an interesting way, just because it all converged on the same day. So we started to spin off other ideas. Teen Services has offered snacks during study breaks. They'll do programs, week-long programs during finals or other programs like that. Well, they'll just offer, a basket of packaged snacks already. So that seemed like, well, why not put them all in the same space? If you're going to have a fridge and offer water, the coffee maker comes back, we can just as easily put, a basket of snacks out. So that's kind of where we started. Do you have any questions so far? Because you have the written stuff of how it could be accomplished. But that's some background.
that putting, that putting like a little cafe snack bar in that closet, because it is teen-oriented, would serve that purpose well, that where they might not, where a teenager might not get up and go elsewhere in the library, it would be right nearby. And the idea of encouraging teenagers to come in to the library, that would, I think, serve it best as far as that's concerned. I don't know, where would we put, excuse me, where would we put tables
There are tables there.
in the teen room?
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
got 2 high tops.
Yeah.
With 2 chairs each.
Yeah.
And we have a longer table with kind of benches, so it looks like a booth.
It looks like a booth.
And
It does.
I just moved up another long table,
Oh, okay.
with 4 chairs around it for passports, to kind of have that dedicated as passports for when the Lowell room has a group in it.
Okay. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I hadn't read the whole thing, the whole proposal thoroughly, and I was just reading about the other considerations down at the bottom, about where that closet is really won't be able to be monitored closely. That's the, I don't know if it needs to be, but here are some examples of it needing to be that, there are potential problems, and having library staff keep an eye on it.
Yeah.
Having the refrigerator door closed and
Oh, yeah.
microwave used appropriately, things like that.
If we go that far, that was kind of the
Just,
the extreme.
yeah, how
But-
just keeping only the refrigerator only, not the microwave, like only for snacks and water and other fruit juice and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, if you think back to how it was when circulation was in the middle of the
Yeah,
floor,
Yep.
it was unattended,
It
but
was.
in sight.
Inside, yeah.
You
Yes.
know,
Yeah.
and that's to say that, Cirque usually doesn't have downtime. So it's, you do get into a rhythm of, let's check this,
Yes.
So that's something that we discussed,
Mhm.
I'm actually not interested in having a snack area or bringing back food. I'm just not. And I'm not sure I like even that area because it's
Mhm.
tucked in that corner. And I just can see that being either just people taking it or leaving it a mess.
The coffee keruk and water was, I think, okay, like in the outside area, like how it used to be with that arrangement, you could see, but in the corner, especially in the teen room, they come up with they can have ideas of what to do and what not. But yeah, I think so. Something, if that can be placed in the closer to the entrance or in plain sight.
The
And
thing about plain sight that we kicked around is, when you observe teen behavior, they just don't want to be watched. They're self-conscious at that age. So getting up to get a snack is, I think a challenge for a lot of kids. So to make it discreet for them, you know, I think that's what we were really hoping for, is that if we do put it in a nook, I mean, it's a nook that you can't do a lot else with it, then it's a efficient use of the space, and I think it provides for the patron some, some privacy, the ability for them to be a little more autonomous. When the library staff have had snacks out during study breaks, they ask anyway, and things are out there. They don't know they're allowed to touch that. I don't want to assume the worst out of our patrons. I think the other thing that this speaks to is, letting our patrons know that we want them to hang out. We are trying to create a third space. And if you're studying or working on something, even as an adult, we're going to provide some things so that your stay can be more comfortable, it can be longer. You don't have to get up and leave. The rules in the children's room are different because we do allow food, because people have toddlers who usually have a bunch of Cheerios or things like that. So I think, last week after I probably had sent the packets out, I was coming back from a meeting, and I noticed a group of teens, 3 teens, at the mobile buying snacks. They walked across the street and they sat under our canopies. And that's our population. That's who we want in the library. And I had to go pick up my daughter from the high school, and I picked her up. She was doing color guard. And she's like, "Oh, I'm so mad." And I'm like, "Why are you mad?" She goes, "My friends are texting me because they went down to the library, and I'm in color guard, so I couldn't meet them up." And I said, "Really?" Because I saw a group of kids who were at the mobile, and she's like, "Yeah, those are them." And I'm like, "Okay, you should tell your friends to make their way inside." So it's like, how do we get them? They're doing the pattern. They're doing behavior. They're saying, after school, we're going to grab something to eat and go hang out at the library. So we can, why can't we just say, we're going to go to the library, have a snack there, hang out, get on the computers. I think that's what we're trying to do. And it's a challenge. It's definitely a challenge. The Kelly Library in Salem has a vending machine. And so part of our conversation was, maybe we get a vending machine. And then it was, well, we have this fridge. I mean, this is kind of how we were kicking it around. Why don't we use what we have already? So.
Yeah, the thought of vending machine, after reading all this, I was thinking, just if we put a vending machine in that closet area or some other area, that takes off a lot of responsibility, and they'll get variety too. They'll know there's a vending machine. It may be more popular.
Well, I think that the drinks should definitely come back sooner rather than later. As far as the snacks are concerned, I don't know. I mean, having something to eat after school is what teenagers would be looking for, so can try and get them to come in. That would be great. I don't know, we could, I mean, the staff could experiment with different things that might not have such extreme consequences as some of the, you know, just reasonable snacks like, you know, snack bars and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, adults will bring snacks into the library in their bag. And they're eating in the library.
Yeah,
And we have rules about, well, you're only allowed to eat in the tile.
yeah.
And then we said no eating or drinking at all because of COVID. And now it's, okay, let's get back to that. But we don't have the tile area anymore. So we are working on updating the patron behavior policy, and that's gonna include, you know, snacks are permitted in the library and covered drinks, but not near library equipment, library computers, because we can't point people to the tile anymore.
Yep.
You know, so it's kind of, well, okay, if we let people eat anywhere in the building, are you gonna tell your, you know, I'm saying to my department heads, will you tell your staff to monitor and make sure folks are cleaning up after themselves? Because right now people, I'll say adults are eating secretly, you know, because we find the wrappers. So it's kind of like, how can we make this obvious, but not in the middle of a floor so we all know you're touching, you know, I mean,
Right.
it's, I think when you know, you go stay at a hotel or something and there's that little breakfast bar, that's what I'm thinking is, it's off to the side, it's there.
Yeah.
You know, and it's not presented in such a way that, you know,
We're watching
I'm
you.
assuming you're gonna do something bad. It's, no, the library is welcoming, we want you here, please stay as long as you like, and here's some convenience things. You know, I think that's where we're going.
I have never thought of a library as being a place to snack or anything like that. But I think the real world today is that you can
I
do
don't,
it everywhere.
I don't have a problem with the library having snacks. No, let me rephrase that. I don't have a problem with people bringing in snacks. I just don't think the library
should
should be
provide
the one providing them. I'm also concerned about moving electrical in there, because it's a closet. It wasn't meant to have an electrical outlet, and
I'm worried about the microwave part.
so, but they still have to add an electrical outlet even with the refrigerator
With
that
the
would be put in there,
refrigerator
so
also, yes.
I'm just not a big fan of it.
What would make it better? What ideas do you have?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's hard.
I mean, even if I turn this around in terms of, because I'm the money person, this isn't even self-sustaining. So it never worked out that how much money or how much it costs for the bottles of water, it was never a one-for-one. We lost money. So, and I wasn't even thinking that. It's just the whole concept just, I mean, on one hand, I like the idea that you want to provide an environment that's welcoming, but at the same time, it's just between the electrical potentially having an issue, the Keurig always seemed to need wiping up area, which always fell on circulation. So, and then I just don't see it as something that the library should be getting into or get back into. It's just me. I mean, it's one thing when it was like a week here for, or 2 weeks during the year when it was finals time. and you just provide like the basket for teenagers and for studying, but all the time, I just don't see it.
To me, a coffee machine and a water fountain are good for a library. I think beyond that, people would like to have a cup of coffee while reading the newspaper maybe, or going through some magazines, or just they're sitting and watching something on their laptops. But having a full-fledged snack bar is kind of, it will entice kids and teenagers, but I think it's a lot of other kinds of responsibilities, especially in that closet area when I'm like kind of putting electricals, microwave. I wouldn't like having a microwave in that corner.
Do we want to vote on it, or do we want to table it?
I think I'd like to table it and hear what Deb and Mike have to say.
Yeah.
Okay. We will do that.
Okay, is there more information? Do you have questions that I can bring back to the department heads? Because I'm hearing you say, oh, the Corrig needed to be cleaned and that it was felt to circulation. I mean, before we rolled it out, it's, okay, circulation, this is a thing that we might do. Who's gonna clean it up? And it's, oh, we'll do it. You know, I mean, so it's not like a burden on the staff. It's, here's an additional service that we're going to offer, and here are the things that need to happen if we offer it. You know, and I think that's the same, Sohini, when you use words like, you know, responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
This is something that Jen, Kathy, and Max are really, really excited to do. They brought it to me. It's not my idea. I think it's a great idea. And I think it hits a lot of things that we aim to do in the community. And I think it's very exciting that, you know, our newer staff, our younger staff, staff that are very close to this age, young adults, who we want to draw back to the library, are seeing this is how you make it a third space that I'd hang out in, you know, and I listen to that. So if they're excited, they're gonna do what needs to be done to make sure we can keep the service, so it doesn't, you know, get sabotaged or something, you know. And, you know, if it doesn't work, we shut it down. You know. But I do wanna, I just wanna express that, you know, when we talk about, if I bring you something, it's not a half thought out thing. You know, it's a fairly well thought out thing, and something that the staff is committed to try.
Okay.
All right?
I'll send out a note to the board asking for questions about, if we have questions,
Sure.
to send them, just send them to Yvette.
Okay, that would be helpful. Thank you. All right. So I know, Janet, you had emailed me with some questions about the fine-free stats.
Yeah.
I'm working on those.
No problem. That's why I said.
Yeah.
Sometime.
I didn't run the report myself, so that I have to go back and find parameters, but, you know,
Yeah, I wanted to ask about that.
sure,
Okay.
go ahead.
Are these overdue items the balance of of the money, I mean, how many years back do they go?
It goes back forever. There's no start date.
I am so,
So we have never wiped our rolls. So it's, cause I said to her, I had the same question for her, what was your start date? She goes, there is no start date, it's just from forever. So it would that probably means from Polaris, when
Yeah.
we moved from Horizon to Polaris, which is before 2009. For me, I never worked with Horizon, so this is at least over 10 years worth of an accumulation of
so it
unpaid
really
fines.
doesn't give us an idea.
Nope.
Of what the total balance average for overdues per year would be, because
No.
we don't, you know, I mean, I'm just thinking thinking if we want to continue to be fine-free, what are we relinquishing? How much money are we going to lose? And when I saw it,
Yeah.
my
I did too.
eyebrows went up, and then the number of transactions, 11,307 of overdue items, I think that's a lot, I think. I don't know. That's what my question is.
So, I mean,
What's an
we-
average balance?
I don't know, but we send out overdue notices, probably not now, but
No.
usually you send out overdue notices maybe once a month or a couple of times a month. So, you know, I can look into more of that process to see, you know, what were we sending out? How often was it being sent out? I'm not sure. You know, if someone paid it, then that's gonna be wiped off their record, and we'll
Yeah.
have no record of that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think a lot of your questions, Janet, were questions I can ask the GMILK staff, because they really go deep into the back end of what's possible in Polaris for reports.
Okay.
I have a meeting with the CERC staff coming up Thursday, and I can say, you know, are you recording how many people are talking to you about it? You know, because I don't know if they were. So,
I mean, this amount of money is a serious amount of money.
So, just to give, I sent my questions to Yvette, because I didn't want to send it to the board, but let me tell you my questions, and it might
Okay?
help you,
Yeah.
so she's getting
I'll
this
take a little
information.
help I can get.
Mhm.
So I wrote, like, I'm confused by these numbers. Does the overdue balance amount represent all overdue items in the system for the Merrimack branch, which basically you just said
from
yes.
forever.
From forever? Does it represent only the patrons who have asked for fines removal that we are forgiving?
No.
What does the amount for replacement cost represent? Is this money something we should be receiving or have already received?
Well, no, the replacement costs we aren't waiving.
Right, I know. I just
Okay.
didn't know if that's something we should be receiving or had received, or,
We should, but again, when someone loses an item, we send out a notice.
right,
And they might choose to pay it, or they might choose to disappear.
right,
So all of this money is theoretical money, you
right.
know.
And then with respect to more of the fines-free information, I wrote, I'm interested in seeing the number of patrons requesting fines removal per month, the total amount of fines forgiven, and then any replacement costs that they pay.
Total amount of fines forgiven. Okay. Yes.
So it's
That's
more.
what I'm interested in. I'm just interested in knowing what we're giving up as far as money that we would normally use to pay for things during the fiscal year, if we're limiting what we're capable of doing by going fine-free and then understanding what the balance would be.
Yeah.
And that's my concern. I mean, the concept of fine-free is great, except for what won't we be able to do? So how much money is involved?
Mhm.
That's my question.
Yeah.
And when I saw how, I mean, I assume the replacement costs go back forever too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
it is a lot of money.
I mean, I don't know, Janet, if you thought to run a report of, like, last year we took in this much on fines, late fees.
I can do that.
Or not COVID year, actually, go back.
Go back.
You
Yeah,
know,
I can
because
do that.
that'll
Yeah,
give you,
just
every
yeah,
year we're
an
taking this much
idea.
money on fines.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Because it's not what is theoretical, it's who actually pays up.
yep,
Because we've also talked about years ago going the total other direction and going to a collection agency.
Right.
You
Yeah,
know,
we talked
Yes.
how
about that.
aggressive
I
do you
remember.
want to be
Mm.
with, recouping late fees?
Right.
I mean, I really hate saying it that way because it's like, we're not in the business to make money, you know?
But we are in the business of spending our money so that it can be to the advantage of our patrons and the
Mhm.
library. And right now, I feel like I'm in the dark. And those numbers didn't help me because they're so big that it kind of startled me.
Do you, I just lost it. I had a question for you. I like went in, went out.
Usually they come back.
Um,
3,096 have overdues.
It's purely fines.
What do other libraries say about going fine-free, those that have? Do they talk about the fact that they are bringing in less for them to do?
No, no. It's more that the patrons appreciate it, that there are no fines.
But we're keeping track of month by month since we instituted this last month or the month before, August?
We voted on it in July.
In July, right. But are we keeping track of?
I mean, right now, I mean, these are old, this is old fines.
Right.
And ARPA ran a report of all of the overdues. And then went through a process, you know, the staff went through a process by, you know, deleting fines, clearing the account. And so now we start at zero,
Okay.
you know. I think, I mean, we have to start somewhere.
Yes.
You know, that's some of it, because these fines could be from the year 2000. I mean,
Right.
they could be
Right.
old, which means
Yes.
you will never get it back.
Yeah.
You know, so it's to me, that's like zero. So,
Right.
I think it's hard, but you have to start from somewhere, you know.
Well, I'm just thinking of the future. And I don't know.
Okay, to answer your question, in fiscal year 17-18, we took in 11,900. And then 18-19,
11,900?
yep. And
Okay.
then 18-19 was 11,200. And then 19-20, now remember, COVID happened,
Yep.
that the last bit, March-ish.
Yeah.
So March, April, May, June. 8,000. And then 2021 is 2,000.
So when things were normal-ish, it's around $12,000
Or 11.
or
Yeah.
$11,000.
Yep.
That's interesting. At least that gives me an idea.
Sure.
That, you know, when things are normal. I don't know, 12,000, 11,000 or 12,000 isn't, well, it's like the trustee budget for the year.
Yep.
I don't know, we'd have to talk about it. But that's interesting. That's an interesting piece of information. I don't know. I think that should be in the notes.
Mhm. Oh, I'm still on mine.
You're still on yours. Yeah, it's all you.
Sorry.
It's okay.
A couple of highlights. Adult services staff have finalized and made live edits to the library's meeting room form, which will allow patrons to book our meeting rooms online while ensuring they are made aware of the guidelines outlined in the library's revised meeting room policy.
Nice.
Statistics in youth services, statistics for this year's summer reading challenge are in. We had 161 participants for youth categories, 12 in teen, 8 in early literacy, and 141 in children's. And together they earned 97 challenge completions and 368 milestone badges. Our children and teens read 204,333 minutes in our 7-week challenge.
Wow.
If you had any questions about the director's report.
Questions?
I don't think so. Jared's been busy.
I thought the same thing. Do you usually pick up the book drop?
No. That's usually head of circulation. I've done it once, Sheila's done it once. You know, several of the department heads offered to do it. It was kind of like,
Was it
Okay.
usually once a week?
yes.
That's it. Nice. Okay, no questions?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the list under maintenance, it corresponds to the spreadsheet for maintenance projects. I don't know if you have
Yeah.
questions on any of these things.
I saw that he's painting the letters.
Well, did you see him do that? Okay.
I was like, "Ooh." And it's on the list. I was like, I saw that.
I haven't seen it yet. I have to come over.
Nice.
And I like that the slot is covered permanently. That's
That looks
nice too.
really nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to seeing it. I haven't seen it.
Oh my gosh, it looks so nice.
Good.
Yeah. Any news on those beams
Oh,
by the stairs?
I'm waiting for the vendor to send me the proposal for the work.
Yeah. Any more issues with the air, the compressor, or the AC compressor? or anything?
I reached out to, we had a different vendor come and do the last repair on it. And that was more of a local, you know, unit in an office or unit in the building. And so, when they came out and they looked at the system, they had said, this should really be fixed here and there and here and there and all these things. But I'll send you someone to come and look at it and do a quote. So that was one of the last things Joanne had done. So now I picked that up and said, hi, I'm the person you're talking to now. Can we pick up where we left off? And so I'm waiting to hear back on an email from that. And then I got an email from the same company that was like, hi, our records show that you installed your chiller 10 years ago. We have ways to do. Can I set up a time? So I don't know if she was answering me because it was a little not personal, a little bit of a form letter, but so I have potential dates I could meet with a rep to actually walk through the system and tell me more detail about how can we actually address this issue. So I just got that email today.
Any news on the elevator?
Nope, it's just working today.
Okay.
Yeah, that's another, because I submitted the CIP and part of that is a quote,
Yep.
for actual replacement, and that's just a phone call or that's an email I have to do, but, yep.
Yeah, but in your notes somewhere it said that there are 2 compressors, but only one of them is working and you don't know, one of them is disconnected?
I don't know which part you're talking about. Which, under maintenance?
I don't remember where I read it, but I read it.
It's under maintenance, the second bullet.
Yes. That's the thing. There are 2.
Only one of
So-
2 compressors is currently being used, the second has been cut out of the system for unknown reasons.
Well, unknown to this vendor, because they obviously didn't do it. So
Right.
someone previously thought that was the fix.
Okay.
And it's, okay, now I have an email from them saying, here's a list of dates when someone come out and talk to you. And it's like, okay, then what are you talking about? So. Yep.
Okay.
I don't know yet.
Okay,
I
that's
know as
fine.
much as
No.
you know.
Right.
Okay.
Anything else?
Anything else?
No?
Okay, treasurer's report. That's me. I am looking at the balance sheet. And the balance sheet for the month of August.
Yeah.
So fines, we began a balance of $10,208.61. And we ended the month with $10,166.25. And then special, we started the month with $32,236.72. And we ended with $36,962.57. I don't think. In special, the DCU was deposited, as well as there was a New Hampshire Humanities grant was also deposited that month. I think that's like the biggest, or the most unusual. It doesn't happen too often. Any questions? I don't think I did that one. Yearly, we have to send, because we hold the Watson Trust, we have to send a report, and they accept the town report, the town annual report. Once a year, we send that up to the AG's office as information that we still have the Watson Trust. So I sent that up to the AG's office. Yeah, that's it. Not much going on this month. Any questions? Okay. Minutes.
Okay.
All right. We had a whole slew of minutes.
Yes, We do.
All right, I am going to start back in July.
July, got it.
July 20 public meeting minutes.
Got it.
All right, where are my notes? Oh, yes. I have a change.
Do tell.
I gotta find it. Let me just do that.
Do you have any changes, Sohini, for the public July 20th? Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
so under treasurer's report,
Aha.
A, says Janet Krupp moved that 38,284 of the Watson account.
Yep, be moved to the Fidelity Balance Fund.
Right, it's 30,224.
30?
30.
30?
30224.07.
Wow. 30224.07.
Yes.
Oh, my apologies.
No problem. I read that. I was like, we don't have that much money.
Well, what I did is, the Watson account has now been moved to the Fidelity, a very
Right.
consistent concern. Because it is invested, it can be checked at any time to see how the $38,284 is doing.
Yeah.
So I thought that was the amount,
No,
but it wasn't.
no. It's 30,224 and 7 cents.
Okay,
Yes.
I've got that now.
Is that the only one in that one?
Yikes.
Yeah. So, and that's it for that one. I was good. Any other issues? I didn't have any other comments. Sohini?
Nothing on that one?
Nothing on that one.
Okay. So,
I move that we approve the public meeting minutes for July 20th, 2021 as corrected.
I second. All those in favor? Excellent. Okay, that's good. So now we have
What about
non-public.
non-public?
Did I have anything? Yes, I had 2 things. I think this is the one.
Do tell.
Oh, no.
No,
Nope, this is the
No.
next month.
okay,
I have no issues with that one.
okay.
Sohini?
No, I have only the non-public from the most current one.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
So, I make a motion to accept the non-public July 20 minutes as is.
I second.
All those in favor?
All in favor?
Excellent. 300.
Okey doke. And this is.
All right, so now we have
Today is
9,
September
21.
21. And this is September 21. Okay, so that is ready to get fixed.
All right, so we have 8:17 public.
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta find it. Control F.
This is August 17th.
Adjusted. Where is that? New business, director's report, treasurer report. Maybe it was in the other one. Hold on.
Okay. Do you feel yucky?
No,
Okay.
I felt yucky, like Friday. I had this cold, that just blowing my nose.
This is the time of year.
It is. My kids went back to school. I'm always
Instant.
doomed.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
It's just how it always happens. So it's a little earlier this year than normal, so that was good. All right, let me just find it. I wrote it down and
Yes,
I must have wrote it down
That's
from the
fine.
wrong. Pines Free, new business. No, I know I'm gonna find it. Was it in?
do you remember what it was?
Yes, it's the adjusted fines, it's the, when I moved,
So it would be treasurer's report?
it's I moved money from,
Oh,
to make, it was like move the 10,000 to make fines.
yes, and
Um,
that's the,
Let's see if it's in this one. Old business. Fines free. I'm sorry.
Hmm?
It's the terminology wasn't right. That's why I'm like, no, that's not right.
you can always call me and I'll change it. I'm not gonna
Alright.
do it in the next 24 hours because I have stuff to do tomorrow.
All right. I thought I wrote, that's so weird. All right. Let me see if I can find it. Watson account, fidelity balance. That's right. Oh, here it is.
Oh.
I did write it down right. I just couldn't find it. Okay, it's under, it's 817, old business, number 4.
817, old business number 4, okay.
Okay,
I got it.
The treasurer adjusted the Fidelity Value Fund account so that there is 10,000 to reflect the yearly 10,000 trustee budget. It's the treasurer adjusted the fines checking account.
Okay, the treasurer adjusted the,
Fines checking account,
yeah,
so that there is 10,000 to reflect the yearly 10,000 trustee budget.
fines checking account.
Yeah.
And has nothing to do with fidelity?
It has nothing to do with Fidelity.
Adjusted the, there it is, I have fixed it.
And then there was a spelling error.
Good, do tell, where?
A little further down under old business, C3, libraries.
If the process of developing this profile
Yep, it's, keep going.
moved
To
the-
guide us through the process to identify the libraries.
Oh, look at that, weird.
Yep. That's it for that one.
Thank you.
So Heaney, any issues?
Mhm.
Okay.
Same one?
No, she didn't have any issues.
No, no issues on that one, okay.
Okay, so all those in favor, so I make a motion to accept the August 17 minutes with changes.
With corrections, yes.
I second.
All those in favor?
Okay,
And then,
7300. Anything in the August 17th
non-public?
non-public?
Nope, that was good for me. So Heaney?
Looks fine.
Okay, I make a motion to accept the August 17 minutes as is.
Approved
Non-public,
Non-public.
yeah.
as
I
is.
second.
Yes.
All those in favor? Okay. And then, 9:13 public minutes.
Okay. Okay, this is gonna, yes, 9:13 public minutes.
I had one question.
Do tell.
It's right before, it's the second to last line in the minutes. Comments from press,
Mm.
public, and board members. Regarding capital improvements, it was suggested that the trustees keep in mind that historically, using the capital improvement funds has been favorably looked upon by the town and the voters.
That was dropped in there right at the end before we adjourned. And people usually, and it didn't really, it was just sort of a general making the board aware that the town is always looking for good use of funds that you have saved for,
Okay,
that voters and patrons and voters would, like the capital improvement funds to be highlighted as being used, so that they wouldn't feel that the whole thing is just being thrown into, something large is being thrown into, a higher tax rate.
okay. I just didn't understand the comment, that's all.
It was tucked in there at the end, but I thought it was, I thought it was connected enough to what we had been discussing
Okay,
to add it.
okay.
But if you don't like it,
It's okay.
okay.
Okay. Sohini, any questions, comments?
No.
Okay.
Non-public, this is the one that
Yeah.
you
Oh,
have.
wait a minute, we gotta approve this.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, all right,
So
all
I
right.
make a motion to accept the September 13 public
Meetings.
minutes as is.
I second.
All those in favor? 300. All right. One more. Non-public, 9:13.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I have one on this one too. Okay.
Yeah, so here I had a question about the salary of the executive department. Is
Yep.
it will make more, or is it something missing after the 6?
No.
No, it's,
No, yeah.
so, first off, it's the 43.9
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
should be 42.9.
I don't know what's going on with me. I don't usually.
And then that last line,
So there will be another 42.9 on the bold red letters up also.
yeah, all
Wait.
the, all the
There
30,
are- there are
Oh,
two-
42.9,
42.9,
yes.
yeah.
Sorry, I don't know where I'm getting these numbers. It must be.
And then it says executive department head would make only that much?
yeah, it's in a, it's more like on top of.
So we should say on top of, or something like
Yeah,
that.
I know, when I read it, I had the
additional.
same issue.
Or
Okay, on top of her,
It's,
the previous,
no.
it's more like it's just its own position, but that's the increase.
okay, so the executive department head
Would make,
would have an increase of.
Yes,
or would make,
Because it's not necessarily the circulation department head that gets the executive department heads.
Okay.
So, and I don't know if all the department heads make the same salary,
to start, yes.
42.9.
Yeah.
Okay,
so an executive department head would be reaching or making additional?
would make an additional.
Would make an additional?
To start.
Make an additional
Is the amount correct?
Yes.
Okay.
64.48. So the executive department head would make an additional $6,448 per year
No, just to start,
to start.
yeah, or it's
Sorry.
like, yeah,
Okay. Okay. That's the way I'll put it, to start. Oh. It's all numbers. I don't usually do
okay, and I didn't have any other issues with that one.
that. What about you?
That
No.
was the only
Whoa.
confusing part.
Yeah, well, the 6448, I kind of shrugged my shoulders and said, it isn't enough to be an entire job.
No.
And this salary reflects that, so I kind of shrugged my shoulders. And
It's all good. So, what number was that?
Okay,
so
so
we have
this
to
is
vote.
with
We have
corrections.
to, with corrections,
So did you just make a motion?
making a motion to accept the non-public meetings of 9:13 with corrections.
I second.
And I third.
All those in
All in
favor?
favor.
3-0.
Okay.
Okay,
Is
so
that-
that's good.
I was gonna say, I
I'm
think
glad
that's
those are all caught up.
all of them. That's all of them.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Committee updates. The Building Exploratory Committee, no, there's nothing to there. Friends of the Merrimack Public Library, was there a meeting? I think Deb usually goes to that. If there was one,
I don't have the
no problem. Merrimack Public Development Fund Committee. Town Center.
This Friday.
Fabulous. Okay. LBOC committee updates. Personnel committee. So Heaney, you
No, I did, yeah. No,
nothing to report.
Nothing to report.
Building and maintenance, we got rid of that.
Yeah, we got rid of that.
And there's nothing to report for finance. And do we have any action items?
Just to discuss, the tabled,
Yep,
the tabled, the
what was that?
the snack.
snack policy.
Oh, yes, this, action item,
Mm. To have the snack corner.
yeah.
Isn't that the SWOT from the library staff also on the September?
Yes, we have the SMP.
Yes,
SMP
next
SWOT
step.
thing, yeah.
well, yeah, we have the, this is what Deb sent to us.
Yep,
Yes.
yep. And we also need to find dates for, which we'll end up doing most definitely in
For
October.
the budget,
Is for the budget, yeah. So dates, but that will definitely be in.
Yeah, we'll be having
It's
a
more like,
discussion.
make sure you bring your calendar next month.
Yeah.
Okay, bring calendar.
Bring calendar, budget, SMP, Deb is gonna meet with you when, yeah, exactly, for,
So it's her action item that she doesn't know.
right, well, she
Yeah.
knows about it, right.
Yeah.
For the
And,
strategic plan,
Comics Plus proposal, are we pushing that to next month?
The what?
oh, the comic,
Plus
Oh, the
pro-
comics.
proposal.
Oh,
That's on mine,
Uh-huh.
the Comics Plus demo, and then the print renewal I also sent you.
okay, yep, print,
oh,
Print
print
renewal?
renewal,
Print
print,
renewal.
yes. Are those to do now, or are those tabled for next month?
we can at least, do you have stuff to bring up? Conversation?
No, well, okay, so far for action items for October, discuss the new snack corner.
Print stuff.
Discuss and make dates with SMP and discuss the SWOT. Or, I don't know if we have to discuss that, but.
I think that's just part of the SMP.
And, yes, part of the SMP, and bring your calendar, which is,
For the,
And then- what else?
the Comics Plus
Oh,
Well, the Comics Plus was an action
was a-
item that was carried over
Right,
for
for this
today.
year, right.
Yeah.
Because I had brought that to you previously and you wanted to see a demo.
yeah.
Right, which I did.
I did too.
I was impressed with Max's report, frankly. I thought it was good. It was interesting. I didn't quite understand the, how the numbers worked. It was, but that's me, but I mean, the argument seems to be on a simple level that I can understand. That he sees that more digital comics, that digital comics are becoming more popular, and that Hoopla is the only other offering that would provide them, and that I forget what is this app called?
Library Pass.
Library, okay, that they give, we aren't charged per item that's used, and it seemed to be somewhat reasonable, more reasonable than I had thought, as far as the yearly subscription, which is pretty much unlimited, I guess, if we pay that yearly subscription price. That's what I understood.
I actually have a question about that. Is it a subscription like Hoopla, or is it a checkout like Cloud?
I'd have to look at the,
I don't remember.
He did say that pretty specifically that we review it every year, you know, when it's time for the subscription to be renewed. So it would be, I don't think
Annual
I
subscription
didn't print it, it's in here.
includes
I finally got on.
Yeah, it says it's a subscription, but I don't know. Oh, there it is. An unlimited simultaneous use subscription, no holds, no waits, no limits. Think Hoopla without a per month checkout. So it's unlimited.
right, because the Hoopla we have, you can check out 6 items right now.
Right.
And we wouldn't have to do that.
Right.
And it's $12.93.75 per year, and compared to Hoopla, that is a deal. I don't know that, I mean, he's assuming it's in addition to Hoopla as opposed to, instead of.
Because this is only comics. Specific type, that's the only
Yeah.
thing. So it's very specific about the product.
Okay.
Right.
So it's only that special comics available.
I did try this, and I originally tried it on my phone through Library Pass, the app, and I couldn't get that to work. But then I used the URL that was provided, and on my phone, it didn't work well because it was too small. So then I moved to my Mac with this, and again, it was too small. I kept having to enlarge it, and then I scrolled, and then I had a long lag when I went to the next page. But then I had my son do it, and he had a bigger screen, and it was fine. It was fine to look at, but there was still a lag to the next page. So that was, when he went through it, and because he was going through like the manga stuff, that was the only issue he had. Was being able to read it was fine. He liked the selection, but it's going to the next page, there just was, instead of it being like a continuous, there was the arrow, the continuous circle arrow.
The whirling, yeah.
Yeah. But I can see from Max's numbers that there's a need. So
And we would be committing for a year, not for the indefinite future. So,
well, that would be the issue, because we encumbered some money from 2021 to support this. But if we did it for, like, if we started it, where are we in September? If we started it October 1st, there's the potential that in this coming budget, it would be added, or could be added, or we leave it off just to see. There's all that's up for grabs.
okay,
So, because of how our budget cycle works.
gotcha.
So, we can test it out. We have the money.
He seems to be enthusiastic about it.
I can see the demand based off his numbers.
Yeah,
I mean, and in reality, I did different numbers and found an even more gap than he did.
Did you?
So, yeah.
okay.
So there's, if the trend holds from what he did, we don't have enough of a digital subscription for online comics.
Okay.
That's the bottom line. The only online digital comics that we have is Hoopla, and we have three services for books and audio, and one for the comics. So,
Comics, graphic novels.
right, all of that.
It's definitely,
Yeah, it's not my thing, but it is
yes.
someone's.
And
so-
it's a lot of people's.
So do we want to try it out? Do we not want to try it out? Do we want to table it again?
I want to try it out.
Okay.
Do we have the money to support?
Yeah, we do.
If we have the money, then why don't try it out? Can we do it only for a year?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. Technically, we can. Yeah.
What, do you have a reservation about it?
No. I know certain generation, they like comics like right now. I think from 9 to 18, that age group mostly.
I think it's more like, you
Yeah.
know,
Maximum, yeah.
6 to
25.
50.
Yeah.
Uh,
I actually read my first graphic novel.
Which
'Cause
one?
it's called Berlin. And actually, we don't have it. It's big. But it's historical.
Hmm.
And my son really enjoyed it. And that was his first graphic novel. 'Cause my grandkids are very into graphic novels. And so he read it and said I would like it, and I did.
Nice.
It's different. It's a different experience.
Okay, so
I move that we subscribe to Comics Plus by Biblioteca for $1,293.75 per year, and review it for around next year's budget time.
let's review in April.
Like 6 months, yeah.
Yeah, it's a little more than 6 months.
Purchase 1-year subscription, review in 6 months.
Review of how much how many
Yeah.
people are accessing
Yeah.
that.
Between
Yeah.
access and then,
Usage.
how it affects hoopla,
Yeah.
all of that.
How many access?
Maybe we can take a survey. To find
Oh,
out
they,
really
Well, we
they,
just
they
have
have
the-
numbers.
They-
They
they'll
got
just
numbers
take a
that won't
number.
quit.
Okay.
Yeah.
How it affects hoopla.
Yeah.
Second?
Yeah.
Are you seconding?
Yes. Like,
All those in favor?
Sohini.
Okay.
right.
And then print?
And then print.
Princh. Now,
Um,
where was Princh? I saw it somewhere.
It was a spreadsheet. I have a question with print, with print.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know how much each of the copies are being, what the price per copy is, whether it's black and white or color?
Off the top of my head, no. I mean, I think it's, I don't remember. I think it's 50 cents for color.
No, I think it was
I
80
don't-
cents.
I'd have to look at the
Yeah,
website
okay,
because
maybe
I don't
not.
pay for printing normally, so I don't know.
Okay.
Okay, where was that?
So I
It's a
think
spreadsheet.
it's 10 cents for black and white, because if you see January 21st, it says revenue 1870, and that month it was only black and white 187.
Yeah,
So it's 10 cents for black and white.
I just,
10 cents for what? Really?
It says
yeah, but I think
187.
can you
and it's
confirm that? Because I can remember in one of our meetings
Yeah,
that we discussed raising that,
Yes.
Right?
and
because in March 21st, if you see, I think there was 50 cents for one color and the rest was black and white, 291 and plus 1. We got 29.60, which was 29.10, and then 1, which is black and white, 50.
I wonder if I couldn't find it. It was first.
so, because I had thought we had raised the black and white, because, and my other question is this revenue what we would be taking in, or is this revenue what Prince received and they take their percentage and then we get the rest? I didn't know.
Yeah, I think if you look at May 21st also, it was 50 cents per color. It's
Right,
showing.
50 cents for color. I'm pretty sure that's
Okay.
what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was just that's
Okay.
gonna be 25 cents for black and white.
Yeah, it's 10 cents still
I know, what I
Yeah.
mean is, in one of our meetings, I thought we had voted to move that to 25 cents.
for black and white.
Yes,
25 or 15?
nope, 25,
25?
yeah.
Okay, now that I don't need it anymore, I have it.
You don't need what?
Princh, the statistics.
When is this up?
October 15 is the renewal date.
October 15.
I think we should continue. for one more year. Unless this pandemic goes away.
I can't hear you.
Unless this situation of the COVID thing completely disappears, kind of. Okay, take it for one more year, just to see, because that day when I was crossing the library, it advertised, oh, you can get your papers, your documents printed and you can pick it up. You'll have that board on the other side of the thing. So I was just coming down this way and my eyes got stuck. Well, what are they advertising right now? And then it shows print.
Yeah, I mean, I'm taking a step back and thinking in a different way about this stuff. You know, I think the challenge for libraries has been, you know, to compete with other companies, other things to do with your free time, you know, and how do we do that? You know, how do we compete with things that people can do? You know, and I think offering something like Comics Plus or a streaming service or remote printing, I mean, these are amazing ideas. I would throw the Snack Nook in as another amazing idea. Passports, these are amazing things. And the feedback we get from people, even just about passports, it's so convenient. I'm so glad you did this. This was so unpainful, you know. And wow, I didn't know libraries did this. I mean, I think that's what we're always going to be working against. You know, those of us in the library, we know what we do, and it's amazing. And it does take time to advertise a new service. I think with COVID, with us shutting down, we don't have people fully returning to the library yet. So I think it's a great service. I would want to renew it, because when people do come back and we don't have it, you know, you know, I wouldn't wanna not be ready for someone, you know, when they come back. And it's creating a modern library. I mean, that's what we're doing, is creating this modern library where you can print remotely. Where else can you do that? You can't, you know. So I'd stick it out. And we can go back, you know, I'll go back and I'd have to see the minutes where if you did vote, because I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, I don't remember whether we voted or not.
I don't know, I just
Do you remember what meeting it was?
I think it should be like early this year sometime,
I have
when
no idea.
we had a discussion about print before its renewal last year
Okay, I don't remember.
in October.
I can look.
I can look too.
Yeah. Because I have I mostly have draft minutes from Janice.
Yeah, I
But
think it was
Everything
Janice
I have is on
was there.
the
Okay.
website still posted. I didn't wipe anything, so.
Discussion of pricing.
Yeah.
Like, is it something where, is it like the renewal process is, why are we always bringing in print? Are they the only vendors, or
I
it's
have
the
no
only
idea.
service they are providing, or is it an issue why we always discuss the print matter? Because last year also I heard when I joined first it was the print. and
Yes.
then,
It
it
was
comes
something
and
really
goes.
different.
yes.
It was like new. It was
New.
like services that weren't available anywhere else, and
Mm.
that was,
So,
Neat.
so currently, like, it goes through Prince and then library gets the revenue, yes?
So Princh is an online service. You download an app on your phone
Mhm.
and you essentially use that app to send your document to the print service at the library, as well as you pay for it that way. So then Princh collects the money, the library gets the document, the library prints out the document, Princh collects the money and quarterly sends us our portion.
Mhm.
And which is why I had a question about the revenue, because I wasn't sure if that revenue was our bit or if that's the total, and if there's some percentage that's gonna get taken off that will go to the company, and then we have our bit. So, as an FYI, one, I will also look for that email for
yeah,
the
we'll look
increase.
for it.
And two, the Princh costs $800 per year. And so in this, even if you assumed that that revenue was totally coming to us,
Mm. It's not meeting
it doesn't even meet half.
half, yeah.
So it's a service. I understand it's a service, but it should be a sustainable service. And as is, it's not. But
Mhm.
but if the black and whites were raised, or if more people knew about it now to give it one more year, both could have the
Sustain,
impact
yeah.
Yeah.
to bring up the revenue.
Yeah.
So,
So it's like three page per order. If you see the total number of orders and the total number of documents, it's around like 2.5 pages per order.
is there any more discussion about it?
Two things need to bring up revenue with a price raise and advertise to,
So are we going to table the proposal to whether we are going to renew it or not?
I don't think we have time to do that.
no,
No.
I think,
No, October 15th is not the 3rd. I don't think.
Right, I think our meeting is after,
yes,
yeah, so,
what
Yeah.
we have to do is decide, I don't know, I think one more year because COVID is unpredictable.
yeah.
So. So October is renewal,
Mhm.
so what we could do is,
Renew it.
yeah, renew it for one more year with the intent of evaluating, you know, how self-supporting it is after, say, 6 or 8 months. You know, again, make a point of going back to it so that we could see.
We can go back and look. Yeah. It's always something we can look at. I was gonna say, I don't remember.
Do you wanna make a,
Sure, I make a motion to, repurchase or renew, thank you.
Renew the
Princh this year. And I assume it's still $799.
It's $6.99.
Oh, it's $699.
$6.99, subject to review in 6 months.
Well, it's gonna be for a year anyway,
Mm-hmm.
so,
699,
just renew print for $6.99 for another year.
yep,
I second.
And, all those in favor?
Okay.
And you'll look through your minutes?
I will,
I will too,
I will.
so.
I have a,
And
Yeah,
that's one thing we can do for October, is that if we can't find it, we'll bring it up in October and
yeah,
increase it then.
yeah. For October, so that's an action item.
Yeah.
Find, vote, question mark, of French pricing, black and white.
Do a search on 25 cents.
It's true.
That's it.
Yeah,
'Cause
anywhere
that's-
25 cents would come up, that would be the
Exactly.
discussion, yeah.
Anything else anybody wants to bring up? It's before 9:00.
I don't-
Saini, you're all set?
I'm all set.
I'm all set.
Good.
I just have checks for you this month.
That's easy. All right. I make a motion to adjourn at
56.
8:56. Okay. Second?
I second.
All those in favor?